Yeah, so we had the project we were supposed to do in two groups. The objective of the project was to kind of tie in lots of the things we had learned and also to simulate that business kind of case and to have, a pseudo work environment, right, where you work on a team, different people assign different things. You manage your analytics project, the way you would in a typical work environment. And so today we're going to be presenting the findings to the company management, which is Shekinah. I've been teaching you, I've been here with you. Mahitabel is here as well. She's been here with us from pretty much the whole duration of the program. We also have Vinkush. A couple of people on the call know him already. Vinkush Damija is an analytics professional. He's worked, he went to the Rothman School as well, did his analytics master's there at the Rothman School of Management. He's worked at Amazon and currently works at RBC. So we have, a breadth of experience there. He's worked in supply chain, in finance as well. So he's going to be able to give us good feedback on our work and hopefully give us some advice going forward as well. We have Nisi as well. So Nisi has a background in computer science. He works for an ed tech company in the UK where he does data engineering and data science. And so, you get to hear from all these people along the line, right? I think one more person wants to be here, Oluchi. I think she's still joining. If I'm not okay, Oluchi is here actually. Yeah, hi Oluchi. So Oluchi is a data analytics professional with lots of experience. She has lots of experience in financial services, and she does analytics for the government as well. So she has that breadth of experience, financial services and public sector analytics. So you have a very rounded panel on your management team today. So I'd like the two teams to get prepared with their presentation decks because you're going to be presenting. So this is the format it will take, right? The first group will present their deck, go through the deck, so share your insights. I already talked about the different teams getting an opportunity to share, like every member of the team as much as possible. So you do that and then walk us through your Power BI dashboard. So almost like you talk about your whole business case, how you thought about it, the conclusions and everything, and then just demo your Power BI dashboard just so we see what's on it. I know the time was short, so we're not going to be harsh with the feedback, but then, whatever feedback is given, just take it and build on it. And yeah, so what team is going first and in what order? I'll let Jumoke determine that.
Group 1 and then group 2.
Okay, we're going that way. Okay, so group 1, get yourselves ready with your team members. I'm sure you have permission to share your screens and we can start. The floor is yours. Today I get to listen, right?
Once again, I just want to chip in. Shekinah, thank you so much for shaping lives and grooming. This is good to see your face. A lot of time we don't see your face, right? Like me, right? It's good to see your face, and I like the Majek Fashek style too. That's also something that I didn't know about you. Pretty cool piece, brother. Freedom for everybody. Love it. And I also want to thank your guests that you brought also. I don't have their name. I heard of Oluchi. I know my Ademah has always been some part, already part of our family already. We just need to give you a Black Force email and Black Force name, right? My Ademah, but thank you so much, right, for continuing this journey with us, right? And all the people who stuck in here from start to finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be data analysts, right? It's not easy, but thank you so much. I just want to let you know that I'm here with you and I'm very grateful for all of the knowledge, the priceless knowledge that you're imparting. I call it the real knowledge of the 21st century that nobody tells us when we're back home, right? Like, hey, just go and just pass physics, chemistry, maths, and all that stuff. No, applied knowledge is what counts. It's not the knowledge itself. The knowledge is on the internet, is everywhere. How do you apply? I think that's what people struggle with. And what you're doing is to show them how you apply it and how you can make all those standard deviations, all those variance, and all those regression analysis, all those things. Why do companies care about those things and why does it matter? Thank you again. I just want to appreciate all the, and I've not been in most of the classes because of it. We have multiple classes, but just know that I'm here and I'm grateful. Thank you. We can't hear you. I think you are speaking on mute. You're mute. You're mute.
Right. Sorry about that. Thanks a lot, Bob Skanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for your support with the class and helping us and helping the students be on the right track as well. Sharma just joined. Sharma is a data engineer with VIDA. And so he does lots of data engineering and data analytics work in the geospatial space, and also with lots of development work as well in that space. So analytics is really huge in that area as well. And geospatial analytics is, a whole field in itself. So lots of diverse perspectives here, and, there'll be opportunities to also connect with the different persons we have on the panel. Okay, so let's jump into it. It will be a short meeting.
So sorry, you have Boolean. Is the person here called Boolean Tech? Is that from you, as well as
Yes.
Oluchi? Oluchi and Boolean Tech, right? Just want to make sure.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's fine. All right. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Okay, so group A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dorcas, your group has the floor.
Really? It was we are the second group. Can you hear me? Hello?
Dorcas, you are group 1.
We can.
That's okay.
Yeah, and just so you know, you should please send the slides, upload them, or send them to.
Yes, it has been uploaded, Baba.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us. So there we go. All right. We want to appreciate you all for the opportunity given to us to work on this project. All protocol duly observed. And today we are here to present our findings and insights on the work we've been working on. Pretty much I've had good team working on this, industrious and highly motivated team who had worked on this for weeks now, and we've been able to come up with insights. Without much ado, I would like to introduce to you Riri and Bemi, who are here with me in this presentation. So Riri will be doing the PowerPoint presentation, and Bemi will be doing the Power BI presentation. So I would like to hand over to Riri to take us through the findings. Thank you so much. Over to you, Riri.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I don't have these slides, but Mimi, can you take us through? Thank you so much. The next one. This is our outline for today. Ride on Bikes and Accessories is a prominent wholesale distributor of outdoor sports products like bikes, components, and clothing through a network of resellers. Ride on Bike targets customers age 40 and above across countries like the US, Canada, and so on. Our presentation today will take you on a data-driven journey to discover operational excellence and growth opportunities. So we've analyzed our data today using sales data and customer demographics. We aim to provide you recommendations today that will empower Ride on Bikes. So the objective, our objective is to share some data-driven insights with you and provide some recommendations to improve Ride on sales through data visualization tools. Some of our key findings, I'm going to run you through our key findings. The Road is the top selling product in the US. We found out that married customers and single men are the key customer segments. Are the big spenders. We also noted that a 500% sales boost was in July 2005 and 2006. Sales peaked during the periods of July July and August, which are the summer months. We noted also that the touring was the least selling product line. Go to the next. We also recorded product sales in new locations like France, the UK, and Australia. And we noted that adults between the ages of 40 to 64 were the highest income earners, and the elders were the lowest income earners. So generally, the married customers, especially the females, were spent more on an average. And Bami is going to take us through Power BI, data visualization. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Riri. Good afternoon, everyone. Studying existing protocols. She's going to take a little time of your precious time right now to fix my date so I can have access to the Power BI dashboard. I'll be running you through the process of the data that we analyzed, and of course the key findings to take you back to the recommendations that we've come together to write on to help improve their sales and also operational engagements. Okay. Okay. I'm going to get you on the journey. So here we have our dynamic dashboard showing you some insights regarding ride-on bikes and accessories sales, the revenues generated, the demographics, that's the demographics in the aspects of the gender, the marital status, their incomes. And of course, we did put the customers by age groups. We had the age groups divided into three. We have the ages 40 to 64, categorized as adults. We had the 65 to 89 categorized as seniors, and of course, elders 90 and above. We were able to find out that the total annual sales that Ride-On came up with was about $1.11 billion, and the total annual revenue was about $111.09 million. The annual average sales was about $1.58 million, and the minimum annual sales was about $300,000. Yeah. Some of the key insights that we did come across is the adults, they were the highest income earners from the customer demographics, and they had the highest sum of order quantity, and they also had the equal value with the seniors. As you can see on the dashboard, it shows that the seniors, the order quantity came to a sum of 214,378, and their yearly income summed up to $406,450,000. And their for the adults, they had a total order quantity of about 214,378, and the sum of their yearly income amounted to $645,550,000. We also did observe that the least earning customers, the elders, which happen to be at the age of 90 to 113. Of course, we understand that people within this age group are retired, and so it's very, very clear why they have that low sum of income. They're most likely going to be pensioners, and the other quantity from them was a very relatively low compared to other age groups, which amounted to 156,253. We also did come up with the annual revenue by the countries. And of course, we could see from the insights that the United States contributed to the most revenue generated by ride-on bikes and sales, amounting to $16,770,000. And that was about 38.12%. And of course, the least annual revenue was generated from Canada, which was about $2,790,000. And that was about 6.34%. We also did find out that the most sales came from the married customers, which amounted to 50. Married female amounted to 50.74, and the married males amounted to 50.37, which is not relatively distant from the measurement from the single customers. However, is worth the notation, right? We also did observe the order quantity by countries and the revenues generated from individual countries. We could see in Australia, the order quantity was about 4,948, which was the least order quantity in the sum total, and the United States had the most, which amounted to 132,748. Some of the ways we also want to show the insights is like Riri mentioned, we observed that there was a relative increase in the sales comparing from when the products got sold in 2005 July, which I'll be filtering by the month year, which is 2007. Okay. We do have 2007 right here on the filter. And when I filter by July, it's loading, so Power BI is doing its thing. Right. So just going to give it some time to have the system load up and give us that insight. Because these are technical things that we don't have control over. But yeah, it's going to come up once it's done completely loaded. While we wait on that, I could go all the way to the annual sales by product line. This is frozen too. Oh goodness. Okay. I believe this is happening because I had to backdate my laptop to be able to get Power BI running through the virtual dashboard. So yeah, it's expected to take a little while to have it come back up. Hence the reason why we have this delay. But we do have a backup, and I can have my team members share their screen. Dorcas, please go ahead and share your screen so we can save time and keep this going. Thank you. If Dorcas can hear me, please share your screen so we can have this running. My system is frozen.
So while the system is loading, if the other members of the team want to get questions on the deck, we could do that just in the interest of time.
Back up again.
Unless Dorcas is able to share them. Okay, there you go.
I think it's back up again. So sorry for the glitch in network.
No worries.
We do have insights regarding the annual revenue as at July 2005. We could see that Rydon had their product sales only presence in Canada and US, and the amount of quantity sold at that point in time was pretty much low. Canada, they had a revenue of 17,960,000 from 226 other quantity. And in the United States, which topped the lead, they had about 594. Now let's move all the way to 2006. At the same July 2006, we observed that there was a significant increase in product sales and order quantity, in the revenue generated and order quantity from contrary to what they had as at 2005, which will be in effect once this is completely loaded up as well. This insight just gives us details that, yes, as at the time when this product sales was happening, there was only sales coming in from Canada and the US, but as a year after, which was 2006, the products was getting sold in locations like France and UK. That means there was extension of product visibility in other countries, so international visibility did show up, and the products purchased from Canada increased. We had an order quantity of 1,857, while the US still topped the list at 4,924. Because UK had the least purchase as at 2006 July, which was 288 order quantity, given the annual revenue at 98,770,000. Now let's go all the way to 2007 July. It became a pattern that every year there was an introduction of product sales across new countries. As you can see here, we just had the likes of France and UK as the new introduction. But as at 2007 July, which I'll still stick to the July since that's what we're using at the moment to show the actual progress by year. We will see that product purchase also came up in new locations. Yes, there we have. I'm just gonna wait for it to load up so we can show the visual on that as well. There we go. So we did have purchase come up from locations like Germany, which was not included initially, and we also had from Australia. Now this literally took UK from the least purchasing country and through Australia to the least purchasing country, because we literally had just the right on recorded just a sale of 124 order quantity from Australia. And it was a progressive situation because the United States still topped the ladder, having an order quantity of 6,038. And Canada was still the next on the line, which had the sum of order quantity of 1,711. So we did also realize that there was an increment in the annual revenue generated as it progressed. But the question we had in mind is, why are there so much sales in the United States, giving so much revenue, and we have revenues untapped in other countries? And so we thought of ways to recommend things that could be done to try and improve sales in other countries, and also improve the international visibility of Ride-On, having more customers, diversity to improve sales, and also in the process of improving sales, it does improve the revenue generated. We're able to look into the product line, the sales by product line and countries, and right here we have the insights we got on that, which will load up in a moment. So we did plot this by the countries and their sales, and we could see that in this visualization does show that the let me give you the insights of the colors. The orange does align for those that have been categorized as seniors, as you can see at the top. The dark blue does align data for those that categorize under adults, which happen to be those that are under the age of 40 to 64. And then the light blue, the elders, that's 90 and above. So we can see from this visual that product sales really had more of seniors buying from France. And when we look at Germany, it was pretty much low. The sum of sales of road products was actually 10,700,000. That was the annual sales that came in from Germany. If we go down, we'll see more the insights regarding the UK, United States, and lastly, okay. So Australia, Canada, France, Germany, then UK and US. So we can see relatively from the US, we had 62,400,000, like I showed you earlier from the table. So it still shows that the UK literally patronized a whole lot of mountain and road products, but they still had a substantial amount of product purchase from touring product lines. We also observed that the UK also did patronize mountain products and road products, and also they did have patronage on touring. However, there was a very, very low purchase coming from the elders. That's those that are actually above 90. One moment. Riri, please take it up from there. One moment.
I'm going to try my best. So some of the recommendations, can you move the slide? Some of the recommendations, some of our recommendations will build up on the momentum of the road product lines in the US and increase campaign frequency. Another recommendation would be surveys for client feedback to better product offerings. Would recreate the strategies that increased the sales between the year of 2005 and 2005, July and July of 2006. We'll also increase product availability and targeted campaigns, offering special discounts in peak periods like July and August. Product offerings expansion in our existing international locations as well. We will focus on the big earners, as we saw earlier, the adults, they bring in the most, and also the married women, they're the big spenders. We'll focus on them. We'll also do like a coupon-based rewards targeted to married customers, especially the females, to incentivize coming back to buy more products. And generally reviewing the pricing and marketing strategies to increase the average sale values across all locations. Thank you. That's kind of sums of our presentation for today. I apologize. Some of my team members are on call. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, that was great. Good management of time as well. I know there were some hitches, but I'll just open the floor to anyone on the panel that wants to give some feedback on all the work. So I'll just take comments around and I'll chip in as well. So let's go. Any questions and comments as well?
Sorry, just to pretty much wrap it up, I had a little bit of interference. Just to wrap up the insight that we were able to generate, we just observed that Canada and Germany had the overall list annual sales by all categories, and others were not actually consistent with their purchase across all countries. And then our recommendation is to actually have tailored adverts targeting fitness enthusiasts between the ages of 90 to 113, because we know it's towards the afterlife timeframe where they actually want to stay healthy to give them a better life. So we do believe that if Rydon can actually tap into that market segment, it's going to improve their product sales, and in the process, it's going to increase the revenue generated. One more insight we did come up with is the order quantity by country and category. And we had the categories under accessories, bikes, clothing, and components. And of course, we did realize that the bikes actually had the significant order quantity, arriving at 49,731, and of course in the United States. And the clothing was the next most ordered item, which actually amounted to 38,226. And then we also did have components that also followed through with about 30,644 order quantity. And the least in the United States was actually accessories, amounting to 14,147 order quantity. And of course, in Australia, we had the least purchase. Australia literally had just 1,019 components patronage. They did order only 1,510 clothing items. They ordered 1,556 bikes, and accessories, they had only 863, which was relatively low. We actually do believe that the reason why there was very little patronage coming from countries like Australia, Germany, UK, and France compared to Canada and US is because probably there's not much visibility in those aspects, and the need to intensify adverts and also product availability could be the reason why we're having this situation with why Rydon is actually experiencing the very little product purchase coming from these countries. And so through the likes of search engine optimizations, targeted ads, through this, we know social media is not really for the age group in question. So, but it does work if there could be email campaigns, as it can be tracked through the click-through rates and open rates. We also do recommend like a feedback survey sent out to existing customers to actually get back inputs from them to know what's working, what challenges they are facing, their pain points, and with the insights generated from these surveys, Rydon is able to make tailored decisions based on actual raw data, like that it's actually gotten from existing customers to intensify the marketing campaigns and also improve product sales in all of these countries, which would eventually the revenues generated, and of course their brand visibility in all of these countries. And so I believe Riri has run you through the other recommendations which we had, which I would also like to touch base on. But before I do that, I also wanted to just bring your attention to the fact that the peak season for ride-on sales is actually the summer, which happened to between July and August. We will show the visuals to actually back that claim, and we believe that it might be a case of a seasonal product, as we know some of these countries actually experience weather challenges that could actually result in the reason why the products are not actually moving at other time frames. So we would say if there's actually more of product availability during those periods, which we categorize as the peak sales period, that it would actually improve the revenue generated by a ride-on, and of course increase the brand's stand in the bike and accessories market. We can see here that as of July 2006, there was about 7,502 order quantity. If we look at sorry, just one moment, please. Just going to take this down a bit. Leave this frozen. Okay, if we look at
about a minute more, good one.
Sure. Thank you for that. We look at August, we can see that there's actually a substantial increase from 7,000 to about 11,000 order quantity. So that actually, it does tell us that something definitely happens within that time frame, contrary to the likes of, let's say, April, when the sales actually drops down. It's from, we have 5,400, and then we look out for July in the same year, and then the sudden peak in product order quantity again does show up, 9,000. And then we look at August, the consistency is actually there as well. And that's pretty much all we just wanted to share with Ride-On. And we hope that the insights that we've brought across, we can see 15,139. We hope that with this insight, you're able to make more tailored decisions to help increase the product sales and, of course, the international visibility of the brand. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Great job to Team One. Very detailed work, lots of insights. And I'll let the members of the panel either ask questions or make comments,
I can go first if no one else has a problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So great job, team. I think with the limited time you guys had, you had some really interesting insights. And I like how you correlated the insights with what could be happening on the ground. For example, like the entry of the company into new geographies or the seasonality with summer and winter. So I like that part. I have two bits of feedback or questions that I would like to ask you. I think one of the things was about normalization. So I'm not sure if you're aware of the concept, like how we can normalize data. Whatever we are looking at, let's say sales or order quantity, it's better to normalize them and then think of comparing across geographies or demographics. For example, could you show the Power BI dashboard once again?
Definitely do that.
And Shekinah, feel free to cut me off if I'm going over time. Not sure how much time I have. So for example, in the section about total yearly income and order quantity, I think here it would have helped to look at like the average order quantity or average income, like how much is one person in a demographic spending, right? So you said that the total income and order quantity is the least for elders, but it could just happen that the number of target customers are also really less.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a higher percentage of elders are actually ordering the product. So then your recommendation would be totally different in that case. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And normalization could also be thought in a different way. So you examined geographies, right? Like how the company is entering into new geographies.
Right.
So a fair comparison for the geographies would be if you froze the time that they entered the market, and then from there on analyzed, let's say in 1 year of entering the market, how much did the company grow in France or Germany or Canada? And then it would have been a fair comparison across geographies of which one is performing better or worse. Because in this case, like the one that you presented, it could just be that the company is entering different geographies at different years. And that's why there's a very like different order quantity or end revenue in different countries, right? From this, it's very easy to assume that it's a US based company and they started in the US. That's why they have the biggest market share there. And then they eventually went to Canada, Europe, Australia.
Just wanted to address that part. So if you look at on the side of the annual sales, you can see the actual values by the year. So the annual sales is actually accurate by the year and not by the month. So the 1 year actually starts at July. So as at July 2005, you can definitely see that the sum of total revenue, total sales, and also the revenue was actually at $853.2 million. And the revenue generated was at $85.32 million. Let's come down to 1 year after, which is exactly at July 2006. There was an increment in sales, which actually amounted to $987.7 million. And the revenue was at 98.77. Hence the reason why we came up with that.
If I may chip in over here, we also looked at the annual revenue by country.
Right.
So I think that's so give another insight.
We did take account of those factors before we came up with those insights, as we tried to ensure we left no stones unturned. We understand that the dashboard does have limited space for the number of quantity of items that we can choose to show off. And so the items that we do have on here is based on our choice of questions that we chose to answer, and also the recommendations that we wanted to come up with. So if we look at a year after, which is July 2007, you can also see the substantial increase from 900K plus to $1.1 billion in the revenue that came up, and 111,000 revenue came up. And of course, the sales increased from 900 plus to 1.11. So this actually gives us the clarity on our suggestion and our insights that it was a progressive situation. However, the reason why we did think the progression was actually based, our suggestion on the recommendation of the location situation is because we can actually see from our donut chart, it relatively shows the countries that is actually giving this increment. And also from this chart right here, this table, it shows a clearer insight on how these orders are coming in and the locations where they're coming from. And the ages, the reason why we had a voluminous data, and of course we could not pick out every individual, so we decided to put them into the age group. So we put them into groups so we can actually get the insights based on those demographics.
Yeah, just to chip in, I think like the thought process you followed is okay. Like what Vinkosh is saying as well, like what I understood as in addition, it's not really like that thought process wasn't just it, but he's saying that, so for example, here where you look at different countries, right, the duration of the company in those different markets is different, right? So if you're looking at a particular year, 2007, in the year where you move to a particular country, your sales might be low because like you just haven't been there long enough, right? So he's saying that another way to do like a market segment capture or market penetration analysis is to say, what's the sale 1 year after our entry into a new market, so that you can compare 1 year after to 1 year after in different markets. 1 year after maybe 2007 for one country and maybe 2008 for another country, just as a suggestion on how to do that comparison, comparative analysis. And also for the group, what he's saying is not to look at individuals in the population, but to have an average number that represents the individual for that population. And why I'm chiming in on this comment is because like I was also going to make it that one good way of showing it is like the average number, right? Because here you see, for example, you have the sum of yearly income and you have order quantity. But it's just showing you these numbers based on the number of people in those segments within your entire population, right? But if you want to compare performance in different segments, you want to do like an average number of order quantity per customer or the average spend per customer within that segment. So that gives you a sense, oh, we're selling more within this demographic. And even sometimes within that average, you may want to do a distribution of those averages to see if it's the case that you have a few people that are spending so much and many people that are spending a very small amount, or if you want to, be able to target subsegments within that group. So it's just, if feedback on, what more you could have added to the analysis, but I think your thought process was solid on that as well. I'm sorry, Vinkush, you can go ahead or anyone else.
No, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Do you have any other comments or questions? I had a few. Okay, go ahead, please.
Oh, yeah, so I think you already covered pretty much what I wanted to say. Just wanted to say well done to the team. I saw that you provided good business context. The background you provided was really nice, and you gave clear business objectives as well, which I think is really important. But I'll just add that curiosity makes all the difference for data analytics. So I'd advise that when you come up with a business question, try to drill down as much as possible to sort of find the whys about everything every trend and every high level trend, for example, you come up with. So I think you were talking about seniors not being consistent with purchases. So just trying to find out questions like, what do they already purchase predominantly, right? Maybe that's based off of that demographic, right? The kinds of products they would usually use. Are there any other products they would like to buy which you don't have as a product offering? So just try to think outside the box sometimes, right? And come up with recommendations that stakeholders would find really beneficial. I also had some comments on your dashboards. I wouldn't focus too much on technicality here, but I think you could do something to improve the dashboards with the alignment, symmetry, because these are things that are also important for the dashboards to be visually appealing for stakeholders, because then they're able to appreciate them more and see things better. Also in the choice of, in the choice of visuals as well. I saw that in some case, I think you were comparing order quantities by product category within countries. So I think in that case as well, you could maybe use a start bar chart instead. So you're comparing percentages, because I saw you throw around in a lot of numbers there, which wouldn't mean much to a stakeholder because they can't put that into perspective. So try to go with percentages as much as possible. So you're putting things in context, right? So if you say the product categories, say 5 product categories, you want to do this per country and percentage-wise. So you see the percentage contribution of each category, something like this. But overall, I think you did a decent job. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback.
Are there any other comments?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I really enjoyed the presentation, and you did a good job. But I just have 1 or 2 observations. Please, can you just open the dashboard again? Okay. So, first of all, I would have loved for the year for you to have maybe made it just year. So if just 2005, 2001, or separate, have a month filter and a year filter, so that you can actually maybe check the report by month against the year. So that would actually make your investigations also better, instead of just having the year and months together in your year. Then also, I would have also loved to have a country filter, so that you can actually view your total revenue by country to see how they are performing, your female, male performance by country, to actually get more insights. Then also, in terms of the arrangement and alignment of your visuals, I think it would have been better for your filters to have like stay on a particular so that we all know where your filters are, so they are not like, if you have the filters by the right, you have everything on the right, not having the product line on the left and having gender and year on the right. So that is that. Then for your background, I would have loved a uniformity. So when you went to the different pages, you stick to same background. So if you're using the bicycle at the back, you stick to it all through your visuals. You don't mix, because you're not doing like, it should be like, it should have like look like one presentation. So all through your order, you have to stick to, if you're using a background, if you're not using a background, you don't use a background throughout. If you want to use a background, you use same background throughout, so that for uniformity's sake. Then also your background also needs to match with the color you choose. So if you have to look at your background and look at your color schemes to know which colors to use that would match with the background, that won't be contrasting. I think for now, that's a little bit of my observation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Oluchi. Just to add to that, right? Like in terms of look and feel, like the analysis done, great insight. But if you have a dashboard or a presentation that you're going to present to executives, first of all, many times your first presentation it's like what they see, right? So the whole essence of visualization is that I come and at a glance, I'm getting insight already, even before you begin to explain. So the first thing to look at is, even if I'm not there to explain my dashboard, would the business look at this and be able to understand what's going on if I don't have to explain it? And then put yourself in the user's shoes as well in terms of usability. Is it user-friendly? Like Oluchi mentioned, would I have to start searching all around for where a particular filter should be? Or do I know that, okay, all the filters are on the left-hand side arranged, all my cards on top or on the right-hand side? Another thing too is in terms of the alignment, some of the shapes are bigger than some others. And then I think this is not really a hard and fast rule, but I think just going forward out for background pictures, you want them to be a bit maybe blurry. If you look at the last page, how you did the picture here, you kind of blurred it out, so that that's not because that's not the main information, right? It's just like it's just for aesthetics. So you want that to not be like so sharp, just the way we have it on the first page. So, yeah. I mean, apart from that, I think great job. Like everyone has said, it's based on the time we had to learn all of this. I would say this fantastic job. Well done, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Isabel. I think we'll be moving on to the next presentation, but just before we do, I think I really enjoyed your presentation. I liked the detail, right? Like you paid attention to things. The high point for me was when you highlighted the expansion, right? And how like they entered new markets. Like we're not just looking at the data, like, all the annual data and whatever, right? You try to understand what was going on, like what the interpretation of what you were saying in the data was. So really good work to Dr. and team. And also you tied in like what you observed to your recommendations, because I saw somewhere where you said they should continue with the same strategy, right? So maybe entering new markets is something that worked. So you want to, if that was what drove profit, you probably want to expand. Maybe it would be good to add like a profitability metric, because I think we had costs in the data set. But that aside, like, really good flow and good detail. So really good job. I know like lots of the things you showed today, you learned in such a short time. So you're getting a lot of feedback from like professionals that have been practicing for a long time. So I think you guys should be really proud of your work. Like, I don't want to say compared to previous cohorts again, because Bob Skank is here and he would say you guys are a special cohort, but you guys did a good job. So I want you to be proud of that work. And the video, this is being recorded. So take all that feedback. You can try and improve this, and use it to practice, right? So that's also part of why we're having this elaborate feedback session, so that like you can listen to it and incorporate some of those learnings. But great work, great work, all things said. So if there's no other comments, I think the next group can set up and present their work.
Oh yeah, I've been muted actually. I can just. All right, cool. Just not to waste much time. Yeah, thumbs up, guys. Really good work. I'm just realizing that you had a really short time to prepare this, so that kind of situates my comments, so to speak. But yeah, in terms of your business relevance, I thought the metrics that were captured were super relevant to the context of the business. And yeah, I think your insights were quite sound. You explored quite a bit of detail for example, in your aggregated values. So like the total sales and total order quantities. So those were pretty good. And also your use of filters were impressive as well. How each filter enabled each of the charts on the dashboard to be updated. So that was good functionality. In terms of your communication effectiveness, I think you were able to seamlessly communicate the findings and insights effectively to everyone. And I think the points made were quite understandable. So good kudos on that. Also the recommendations were quite insightful. You mentioned targeted campaigns, which are quite crucial, especially when you're trying to enter into new markets and increase sales numbers. And you also mentioned focusing on big earners, which is a good way to kind of milk out your high value customers. But yeah, I think the only sort of notes I made were in terms of the visuals. Like everyone else mentioned, I think that's where you could actually improve. So you had good aggregates on the left, but I think you could also improve by just using simple charts. So for example, when you had the sales value by country, it makes, in my opinion, it makes more sense to just have a simple bar chart that shows these values. So generally in terms of visuals, you want to keep things as uncomplicated as possible, because like Hitabel said, managers simply just want to look at a dashboard and have these numbers jump at them. So they just want to have aggregated context of the business state. So yeah, I would say that. Then finally, just sometimes you can have really good content and detail, but then your visuals can trump the quality of your dashboard. So focus on symmetry, focus on the color schemes like Oluchi mentioned, and I think you'll have a perfect presentation. But all in all, great job.
Thank you very much, Samuel. Okay, lots of feedback. So let's go to group B now.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Idon Peters, this team lead for Group B. We hope our presentation will give great insight to the seeming challenges the company has.
I'm sorry, I can't hear clearly. I don't know if it's just me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
is it better now?
Yeah,
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm hoping that our presentation will give great insights to the seeming challenges the company has and our recommendations. So with no further ado, I'm going to pass over the baton to Sarah to kick off the presentation. And yes, there you go. Take it off, Sarah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like Heidi said, my name is Sarah, and I'm representing Digitech Consulting. Today, we're here to discuss how we can take your business to the next level with data-driven solutions. And here with me is my team. We have Heidi, Genevieve, Cynthia, Juliet, Mohammed, Francis, Budwak, Taiwo, and myself. By the end of this presentation, you should have a clear understanding of the current situation and the strategic objective for improvement. Also, you should have great insights on the key findings derived from this data. Also, you'd also have recommendations. And lastly, there is going to be an executive summary that can be shared with anyone who is not at this meeting, and they will be able to get a clear picture of our presentation. So with your business, focusing on wholesale distribution of bikes and accessories across multiple countries, we understand that your key objective is to boost sales and operational performance. You did task us with analyzing your historic data to recommend actions to improve efficiency with regards to your revenue, the customer satisfaction, and employee performance. After careful analysis of the data that you provided to us, we did find out that resellers are at a sweet spot on the value chain. This makes they're making good bargains with you while they're buying from you, and they are cashing out because of the generous prices or the discounts that you afford them on the prices of your products. While the cost of production has had a steady increase over the last 4 years, about 5% more in 2008, there hasn't been any significant increase in the prices that you give to your dealers. Also, we understand that resellers make an average annual sales of your product of about $1 billion, while you make a little bit significantly less than that, about 960 million, giving a gap of about 40 million potential profit. We also see that from the data that you do have